So welcome back to Witless Banter. Let me figure out the silly news real quick. And if you tuned in last week, then you know that we got hit head on. Or well, we hit and got hit head on at a stupid light. And so yeah, Sam told his story, so I'm gonna tell my story. So essentially, we outlined that like we got hit and everything. So I'm in the front seat, and this is like from my perspective. Oh, you want?
Oh yeah.
This is from like my perspective. I like looked over my shoulder and then looked back at the road, and just as I was looking back, because I was checking my blind spot, as I was looking back, I hear, "What are you doing?" And like the next thing is just like we got slammed hard, and the car spun around. And I blacked out for like a solid like half second. Or like possibly more, I don't know. But when I came to, I was immediately in like panic mode. And I'm sitting there breathing so fucking heavy. And like trying to wrap up the situation, like figure out what's happening while Sam's like trying to figure out a way out. And I essentially feel my stomach and like it's really wet. And I look down, and there's not enough light, but you can tell that, like, oh fuck.
I made a mistake.
We need an adult.
I made a really big mistake.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus.
That was really stupid of me. I knew what was gonna happen. Well.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Damn.
Oops.
How far back are we?
Well, let's find out.
You know, I'll continue my story. Well, while we figure out where we are. Oh, you know what? We got the thing, and then we saved.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
we went to
Okay,
the fire
so
thing. So you just have to take down the fire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you have to get up to the top of the platform though? Yeah, you do have to get to the top of the platform. So yeah, the next thing that happens is I like figure out where the blood's coming from, and it's my neck, and I'm already like shocked a little bit. So at this point I'm like, oh no. And I normally put my phone on my dashboard so that I can like in case I need to use sat nav, and it's just like a habit. Like I never answer my phone or I never text on my phone while I'm driving, but in this particular situation it really would have helped. And I reached for my phone and it's gone. The force from the crash launched it somewhere in my car. I have no idea where. And later Sam actually retrieved it for me. Launched my phone somewhere through the car. So I turned to Sam and he's like, he just figured out how to get out. So I like look over and I'm like, Sam, call 911. And like as I said that, the guys from the other car, who are perfectly fine, they seem to have not suffered any. Oh, also my car didn't have airbags because it was an '88 Civic. And if you don't know anything about old cars, they don't have airbags, and it makes situations like this much more fun. So.
oh my gosh.
So these guys are coming over and they're cussing and wailing or actually sorry, one of them, their driver was cussing and wailing and like angry and pissed off. And the other three of them are like, is everyone okay in the car? Because they seen Sam get out. And I'm in there. I look over at them in the car, and for some reason in my mind it registered, they're not going to hear you. Just, like, shake your hands around and yell to call 911. So I continued to say, like, is anybody calling 911? And the next, like, thing that I see is Sam reaching in and saying like, hey, come out this way, because my door was smashed shut and I could not move anything in there at all. So I essentially hobbled out the same way that Sam got out. Apparently like he kicked the back door open, and so I moved like all the way out of the car. I got out of the car, and the first thing that like everybody sees is my neck bleeding. And at this point I'm thinking, has anybody called 911? And like, I took like a quick peek around and I didn't see anyone on their phone. So I'm like, come on. And this guy, I'm not sure if like he had just handled crashes before or like if he knew what was going on, but he was like, "Hey man, like walk over to this light post and just sit down." And like I sat down like away from the light post, and he's like, "Man, come on!" Like he shifted me over to like sit next to the light post, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I got it." So I'm sitting there with like I think it was like Sam's shirt or like a rag that we had around like the cut on my neck, which I like at this point recently found out that it was just on the bottom of my jawline, and if it had been like an inch lower, I'd be dead. So I'm pretty lucky. We're actually like really lucky because 45 miles an hour, even like slowing down to take the turn, being hit 45 miles an hour directly is pretty bad, and I would not suggest it for any reason. So what wound up happening was somebody wound up calling 911, which, yay. We wore our seatbelts, so like we were saved completely, short of like a like bruise-ish thing where the seatbelt was, which is fine, really. So yeah, I should probably just say the hospital story. That essentially outlines everything that happened from like what happened in the car. Ambulance came, and then like this police officer like shined a light in the scar on my neck, and I never saw how deep the scar was. So he shined a light in it and like goes, "Man, that's really deep." And like I'm already a little bit in panic mode because we just like survived a 45 mile an hour head-on collision. And the ambulance comes, I get in the ambulance, and the guy's like, "Alright, let's check out that neck wound." And he's like, "Oh man, that's deep. Can I get a picture?" And my immediate reaction was like, "Sure, why not?" So he's like, "Do you want to see it though?" And I was like, "Sure." So he takes a picture and he shows me, and like, it's not a high enough like definition picture, or like I didn't ask him to zoom in, and it just looked like a like straight gash across my neck, or against like the bottom of my jawline. And hey, we got the morph ball again.
Nice.
The morph ball bomb. So he took a picture, and then like the guy, the other guy in the ambulance thing. It was just like a whole like they were totally calm because they've dealt with this stuff before, like I'm sitting there like, "What are you guys doing?" So we finally like wound up getting to the hospital, and try to think of like exactly what happened after that. Ooh, boxes. Ooh, that would have really helped last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get in there, and like we both trained fairly medium to hard, and we train in parkour. I don't think I've mentioned that yet. And the parkour gym is called Freedom of Motion. And we trained pretty hard, and we were a little bit beat up in the first place from like training. So every time they'd ask me like, "Oh, like, is this like normal? Is this normal? Is this normal?" It was all like iffy. Because essentially I'd be like, "Well, I don't know if I got hurt training." So they did like a CAT scan of my jaw, and normally, if you know me, my jaw has clicked for we totally missed that before. My jaw's clicked for like 10 years after like a really close like lockjaw thing, which wound up my jaw just like cracked properly and grew correctly, and then it just happens to click for some reason. And so essentially like I was clicking my jaw, and the guy at the CAT scan goes, that would have saved us completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, it's timed. Okay.
Next time on Witless Banter, I continue the story? I mean, that'd be a really shitty cliffhanger.
Yeah, let's just like finish the story and then we can end the episode.
Oh, okay, yeah. So like, shit, I'm trying to remember what happened. took a CAT scan of my mouth, and then like poked around and stuff, trying to figure out like if I had smashed my ribs or anything. And apparently the inside of my body's like perfectly fine. What? Oh, it's time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna wait for the clock to redo.
Oh,
that
okay.
way I didn't get wrecked accidentally.
Yeah. So the like doctor, this is after like the CAT scan and the X-ray and everything. Everything's fine like inside, and the doctor's like, all right, like time to sew you up. So these two guys that were like helping out, or I'm not entirely sure what like positions are in hospitals.
Oh my gosh.
Well, the time is about to run out. So these guys,
never mind.
These guys were like helping out, and they were like, "You look like you're not turning like your neck fully. Does your neck like kind of hurt?" And I was like, "Yeah, it hurts a little bit." So they're like, "Okay, let's put a neck brace on that." So they put a neck brace on, and 30 seconds later, the doctor comes in, and he goes like, "What are you guys doing?" And they're like, what we do wrong? And he goes, I have to sew up his neck." And the neck brace is completely covering the cut on my neck, which it has like 14 stitches now. But when he like, they took off like the thing literally 30 seconds after they put it on, and he leans me back and puts like 10 papers on me, like paper on my stomach, paper on my shoulder, paper on my shoulder, paper on my head, and then puts one like with a hole in it to sew up the scar on my neck. And
I swear I'll get it. I'm sorry for all you viewers at home.
I wonder why it's on like a slope. Okay.
Okay.
So what? Like, do you just have to like book it out? Get in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in there.
So he like, I want to see if this like solved it. Did it solve it? Are you gonna die?
I don't.
Might be able to get out. It's still going down. Go. Oh fuck. Oh god. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Slope. So yeah, he starts like sewing up my neck, and Sam actually went back into the wreckage of my car and found my phone, which for the next like 5 hours was the most important thing ever, because I had to like contact everyone and be like, yeah, we're good, this has to happen now, this has to happen now, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. And I actually called my parents and had them like come and pick me up. Oh, is that just what happens now? Oh, so I guess it doesn't the new timer was letting you into that room, I guess. I don't know.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, you can ball bomb that. Yeah, I guess you should stay on it. I feel like we're like way over on time. So he starts sewing me up, and he kept like asking me questions, and I go, should I be talking while you sew? And he's like, nah. So I stopped like talking because, oh right, I go, yeah, I'll just give like a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or like I'll shake my hand if I don't know. And he was like, okay, yeah, like that'll work. And my parents show up immediately after like I stopped talking. And they can only see the cut in my neck, and essentially it wasn't like word for word, but they're like, oh my god, he's ruined. and like I put my hand up and shook it, and like when I shook it I was like, no, but like only me and the doctor had agreed on like, this is what this means. So like, I'm not sure from their perspective if that meant like, help. But yeah, the next like 20 minutes was them like trying to ask me questions, not knowing the thumbs up, thumbs down, or like what shaking my hand meant. Like obviously thumbs up is pretty easy to figure out, thumbs down is pretty easy to figure out, but they didn't really get that shaking my hand meant like I don't know. But yeah, that was pretty much like the next 20 minutes, and then I left. I had gotten out of the hospital before Sam even went to the hospital. So when I texted him, like, I had gotten home, posted it on Facebook to tell people, like, I'm alright in case anybody has found out about this or has heard about this. Oh, there's a hole over there.
Huh.
Well then. Found out about this, heard about this, and we're insanely lucky to have gotten out, like, one, alive, and two, like, pretty good condition. I have a... It's only like a 3-inch gash on my jaw, and like his organs hurt a little bit, and we're just recovering, and that's pretty much it for that story.
Next time on Witless Banter,
we find out how to get to that door.
I'm sorry.
We've been in this room for 2 episodes.
Yeah. Well.